very uplifting. It
He
just,
likes to be passionate.
which is sometimes the best kind of.
Oh, are you walking in?
They're live.
Okay. Okay. He's pulling in.
Different jacket.
Balls.
I didn't see the jacket.
Give him 30 seconds. Mr. Moss is not aware of that. Okay, thank you. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the April 23rd meeting of the Savannah-Chatham County Public School Audit Committee. I will call the meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? It's been properly moved and second that we approve the agenda of the April 23rd, 2026 meeting. All in favor? Aye. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Has anyone have any additions, corrections, or comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the last meeting. All in favor? Minutes are approved. A couple of notes. Dr. Watts has an issue. She's going to be a couple of minutes late, and Dr. Robinson is unavailable today.
And Lydia is.
All right, so probably related to cones on 16 or Truman, I think is the current rumor.
Lydia,
With that, we will turn it over to Ms. Shaw.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Today I will be discussing the results of the audit of travel practices. For this audit, it was a satisfactory rating overall. So I'll first start with the objectives of the audit. So this audit had 4 objectives. The first one was to determine whether travel requests, advances, reimbursement complies with district, state, and federal requirements, assess whether travel reimbursements were properly documented, accurate, and reported correctly to the state and to finance, evaluate whether the district selects the most economical travel options to promote cost savings and responsible stewardship of public funds, and the last one was determine how the district monitors employee travel to assess measurable outcomes and the overall benefit to the district. Okay, and I do want to highlight throughout the audit, we pointed out some notable strengths. Overall, the audit identifies several notable strengths. The district has an established approval workflow. Finance has a strong reconciliation process. And there's a defined process for the ticket reporting, which is where we report the employees' salary and travel expenses every year. And AP has improved its object code accuracy. And for that, previous years we found that registration codes were included in the travels, but talking to finance and AP, they have identified that, and moving forward, they're going to pull those expenditures out so it won't be reported as travel to the state. And then there was an increased use of the employee self-service system, and this reduces manual processing risks. Okay. So for the condition, while controls were in place, we did identify some minor inconsistencies in document and review processes. Overall, controls are functioning correctly, but there's opportunities to improve consistency and strengthen document standards, and this would enhance compliance, transparency, and oversight. Okay, so I'll move to the first observation. This was the minor internal control weaknesses. For this audit, we reviewed 341 transactions, and 20% has deficiencies. These included missing documentation, incomplete business purposes, late submissions, and incorrect object coding. While this wasn't a systematic issue, there was issues that can reduce transparency, oversight, and increase compliance risks. So the recommendations for this observation was to strengthen existing controls to ensure all travel expenditures requirements, including justification and supporting documentation, are fully met and reviewed prior to approval. And management did respond with an action plan, was to strengthen compliance by using a superintendent directive, implementing a standard checklist, and establishing a pre-audit review process. In addition, target training will be provided to approvers, bookkeepers, and travelers to improve the documentation, approval, and overall compliance.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
With Tyler Munis being incorporated now throughout the district, will that help with some of these issues, like having all the documentation in place to, on time, et cetera, where people can load them in themselves?
It was more of, wasn't Munis, it was more of just making sure whoever's loading it into Munis has the correct documentation. So just a training to making sure everything that's required is uploaded correctly.
So they're still going to require somebody to upload it for them,
Yes.
like the teachers say, if they're going on professional development?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Are there any other questions? All right, I think this is good news. Obviously, we can always do better with paperwork, but it feels like this is a very positive audit, so thank you.
I have one more observation.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I hope it holds.
So the second observation was monitoring travel investment and cost efficiency. During the audit, we found that the district does not currently have a process to monitor travel spending across the departments. There's no formal criteria in place to evaluate whether travel is cost efficient or effective. These limits the district's ability to ensure that travel expenditures are cost effective, reasonable, and aligns with the priorities of the district. So for our recommendations for this is to establish a district-wide framework for all divisions to monitor travel expenditures, evaluate cost efficiency, and use consolidated reporting to identify travel trends, cost-saving opportunities, and overall benefits of the training investments. And for management response for this was they will improve cost efficiency by developing district-wide guidelines for economical travel practice and defining clear expectations for booking, login, mileage, and out-of-state travel. In addition, oversight will be enhanced by requiring a documented business purpose and expected outcome for travel, along with implementing monitoring through consolidated reporting and an annual review process.
Are there any questions? Please.
Just because of yesterday, when we talked about ROI and the work that Dr. Taylor's doing, we discussed that it's 5% of our budget that we're analyzing very, very intensely and in the best way possible. I would argue that this is one of these areas that we could probably stand to do some return on investment to make sure that the travel is not only like documented well and that they know what they're going for, but that we have some means to see how successful it was, which could probably be tricky. But I think this is a place where we could stand to do some work based on the numbers. So just plug that.
Thank you. And Sean, what is the total travel budget? Are we able to see that?
I have it in the report. I can.
I just
get
don't
you
have it in front of
numbers.
me.
You'll get it.
Okay, I'll get it to you.
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the audit of travel practices. Is there a second? It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the audit of travel practices. All in favor? Audit is adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good job.
All right, good
Thunderwood.
morning, everyone. The next line item was included in your packet. For those who don't know yet, Diligent is our new system for our board agenda documents. It's more in tune to the electronic review of things, so if you can take the time, you can pull it up on your phone. It's easily accessible on your phone as well. So if you need me to go through that with you, please contact me, but we are reducing paper, just to let you know. So that Diligent process has that ability for you to be able to access that. So if you'd like for me to walk that through with you, just in case you need those documents. If not, we encourage you, if you need to print it out, please print that out for yourself. Thank you. So the next line item is the SPLOS project expenditure year ended on June 30th, 2025 report. There was no findings. And just to clarify what this, of course it says SPLOS here, but we typically call it eSPLOS, right? And so with that, what they look at is based on what Georgia law requires them to look at. It requires an external auditor to look at eSPLOS funds to make sure that we are following the requirements for the tax collection as well as the referendum. And what that means by the referendum, for what we put in the referendum and what we're going to spend it on, they do an analysis to see how we're spending that and does that align with the referendum. If we have any questions, we have finance here to answer any questions. But there was no findings.
Are there any questions? And this was the external audit, correct?
This
Right,
was
and
the
that
external
we-
audit that's required by state law.
Right, and we selected them last year, I feel like. That's right, okay.
We renewed the contract, she said.
Right, okay. Are there any questions?
We need
Seeing
approval.
none, I will entertain a motion to accept the audit of the SPLOS project expenditures for 2025. It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the SPLOS project expenditures audit. All in favor? Audit is adopted.
All right, the
Ma'am.
next line item is we are recommending in the process of the audit plan, we need to do an amendment based on what was previously approved last year, which was the audit of non-traditional students. Your packet should include an audit plan amendment request, but I'll formally read it to you so you understand why we're requesting this amendment change. So at the time of last year, we had sought approval for an audit of non-traditional students. At this time, the district had previously explored a partnership with Coastal Plains Charter High School as a potential option for alternative learning and credit recovery for district students. Since then, however, the board has approved REACH, which is the REACH Charter School, and the district's focus has shifted to identifying potential supports available through this relationship. Therefore, conducting this audit at this time would not provide a meaningful value to the district. So in talking with district management, what we have concluded is to do an audit of the alternative learning centers. And our focus would provide the district information on the current instructional strategies at these alternative learning schools that exist, their current needs, and where improvements can be made to transition them from a program, which what they are right now, that is Wings Elementary, and then Building Bridges Middle and Building Bridges High School, into a potential school. So we need approval for this amendment.
Okay, I just ask Mr. Moss and Dr. Watts, just to kind of help us understand what we're doing with moving these audits around. This is important to the district.
So, it's basically as she stated.
Right.
The other audit wouldn't bring us much value. We've had a lot of requests as we've looked at discipline to take a closer look at the quality of programs students are receiving at our alternative locations. And so this is an effort to kind of have a baseline of what that experience is so that we'll know as we leverage that, those opportunities, how to make improvements.
Okay.
So, sorry.
Mr. Moss?
So this would be an academic audit as well?
Yes, we would be looking at
At
the
the space
instructional
Right.
strategies as well.
Perfect. Thank
So it's an all-inclusive, looking at the academic side, the operational side of that, and the leadership side as well.
Okay, well, obviously, if this is something the district needs, then I certainly support amending the audit plan accordingly, so I'll entertain a motion. It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the amendment to the audit plan. All in favor? Audit
Thank
plan
you.
is amended.
Thank you. Our next item is the management action report. Right now, there's no items due, so we are on target. Our next, now in the next June meeting, we will have items due, so we will have an update for those items for the management action plan. Does anybody have any questions of the information that was in the management action plan?
Are there any questions? No, ma'am.
All right, and the internal audit monitoring report, that just shows you where we are and how we're going, you know, and how we're progressing through the audit plan. So we are on target at this point. With the shift that we just currently made, we'll make that adjustment at that point. Does anybody have any questions of the current monitoring report?
Are there any questions? No, ma'am.
All right, I do want to let you know, moving forward into next year, that this monitoring report is going to shift. We're going to add the management action as part of this one report instead of having them as two. In addition, I'm going to highlight to you all, I know we put the CPE, and I'm not sure if I ever have shared the relevance of that. The relevance of that CPE is, even though we are not all of us have certifications, it is not driven by certifications. Because we are Yellow Book auditors, we have to have 80 hours every 2 years of CPE learning. So we want to show you where we're conducting the learning so you see where we are putting our focus on. So I'm going to shift it from just doing a monthly review to being an all-inclusive so that you can also see and track where we're spending our time for our professional learning, as well as the requirement for the CPE tracker.
Can you just define CPE for us?
Sorry about that. Continued professional education.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We have a short meeting, so we're going to give everybody back their time. We will not meet in May because of graduation. In particular, we'd like to congratulate one senior at Savannah Arts, Miss Claire Woods. So we're very proud of her. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.